Welcome to the Apollo Cast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the only podcast on the internet where you're part of the Roto, part of the chill session, so to speak. And today, joining us in our smoke circle is good old Apollo, god of the freaking sun.
Whoa, that's where I am? Just kidding. It's good to be here, and I can't wait to review this shit.
Heck yeah, and your host, Homer, here. And if you've listened to the podcast for any amount of time, you would know that Apollo and I are huge fans of the Life is Strange game.
Oh! That's me jizzing my pants, in case you need clarification.
And I loved the first game so much, but then when they announced Before the Storm, I gotta say I was a little bit disappointed because overall I'm not a huge fan of prequels just in general, except for a few exceptions like Star Wars and whatnot. I was so excited to see a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they announced a prequel with Chloe, I'm like, oh, they can only do so much.
Yeah, we were all waiting for that sequel announcement, but then, a prequel, like, we already... you'd think we've already seen what was going to happen, or at least we already heard the whole story, but that is certainly not true as we've seen from the game.
A few others in the past, I'm going to have to make a huge exception for this game. I think this is a awesome prequel. I think it actually adds a little bit to the first game.
Oh yeah, just adds to the lore, just makes it a little bit deeper. You get to know the characters' backstories.
And it does what Life is Strange does best, give us deep and rich characters, and they follow one of my favorites from the first game, Chloe. Spoiler alert for those who haven't beaten the first game, I choose the Chloe ending over the other one. That's how much I love Chloe. Screw Arcadia Bay. Chloe for me. One thing I kind of nitpick about this game is I feel like they kind of push you towards the other quote-unquote good ending for the Life is Strange, because they make a comment like, it's better to sacrifice yourself and be a hero and live and be a coward or something.
True, they make several references to basically, what happens in the future game.
And they also make quite a few references to Max, which I didn't think they'd touch on her too much, but it makes sense if you think about it. They were best friends for growing up.
Exactly. Chloe's pining after her.
Yeah.
Up in the north, or wherever the fuck she moved to.
And if you literally read her journal, she kind of lost her mind. Like, she's blaming Max for a lot of this stuff that's going on. She's not taking the breakup well, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly. That did show a lot in Life is Strange itself, though. She was always super pissed at Max. I always found that really stupid, because it's like, she didn't really do anything. She just moved away, but fuck.
Yeah, and it was really cool getting the psyche of Chloe and whatnot. And even though Life is Strange is a newer game, when I was playing this, I got such a sense of nostalgia going into the Price household again.
Yes.
Just the same layout, cooking eggs and bacon again.
Classic.
It was awesome.
Walking into that house again was like walking into your childhood home. It's beautiful.
Yeah, like I said, nostalgia just hit me hard there. Although I looked for the etching that you make in the first game when you're in the past, and it's not there. I was wishing they'd put that tiny Easter egg, like by the fireplace.
Yeah.
The Max little heart. But they do make a reference to the snow globe from the first one. You get to shake it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And they make all kinds of cool references, and it's really cool. It feels natural, which I was afraid they'd do some obscure thing that
Definitely.
It naturally fits in, which I really like.
Ooh, one thing that I noticed, well, not really that I ever noticed, Homer had to bring it up to me just now today. I already played the whole first episode, but he brought up that they had a whole new voice actor for Chloe, which I didn't even think was possible. It sounds exactly like her. Whoever they are, they're doing a great fucking job of bearing the torch, so to speak.
Yeah, despite the voice actor strike, I think they did a good job, and even if it does bother you a little bit, it takes place 3 years before the first Life is Strange, so it kind of makes sense. Maybe a voice change. Definitely. It is the teenager years, after all.
Especially. The voices change very quickly in that day and age of growth of the humans.
Yeah, but it's been a while since I played Life is Strange. Do you think this episode was a little bit longer than the old ones?
Honestly, it felt about the same time length to me.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
I was satisfied with it. Some of the minor details I like in this as well is just the controller vibrations during the cinematics. Like when you get turned away from the concert with your fake ID, he throws it back at your chest and you feel it slightly in the controller, just the slight vibes.
Yeah, it really adds to the
immersion.
Exactly, Apollo. Yeah. I couldn't think of the word.
That's it.
The graphics weren't really improved too much, but didn't bother me. It was pretty similar to the first. But what I did notice they improved on was the dialogue options. I feel like they added a lot more dialogue options, a lot more dialogue responses. As a matter of fact, without going into spoilers, there's a mini game you play on the train that really displays this really well. It shows how intricate the dialogue options could be, and I really hope for the sequel they could expand upon this further, which unlike Telltale Cough Cough, who doesn't really improve on their gameplay,
Fucking Telltale.
I like how for this spin-off game we're seeing tiny improvements on the gameplay, and
Yes.
they've learned their lesson from the first game because they had a lot of annoying mini games. No annoying mini games here. It's all pretty straightforward, and the story really flows well with the gameplay. I feel like you naturally walk to the next place. They like set it up really well.
It feels real. It doesn't feel like you're playing a video game. It feels like you're just like some person living this story. It's cool. One mechanic that honestly, if I had heard about it before I played the game, the backtalk challenge, I would have thought like,
the backtalk challenge sounds so stupid.
It sounds stupid. It sounds like you can't really do that much with it. It sounds like what you had to do in the original game anyway. But then when you actually play it, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it gets really intense at times, and you could really fail and really screw yourself. And there's no time travel powers to save yourself.
Yeah. I'm always waiting. Like, can I press L2 and go back? Nah, I'm fucked.
I do forgive the graphics on this one, but if the sequel for Life is Strange doesn't improve on the graphics at all, I gotta say I'll be a little disappointed. But for the spin-off game, it doesn't really bother me.
Honestly, the graphics never bothered me. I love the way it looks. It seems beautiful. Like, it's got its own style, almost like a painting, the whole game.
I love that they kept that for this one. Everything's beautiful. They have so many beautiful moments. Symbolism with the animals, the raven, butterfly. Beautifully done, beautifully written. Damn, I love this game.
Kind of getting back to the backtalk challenge.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like, I guess you'd say, the new power in this game.
Yeah, Chloe's power is
just... Chloe's power is bullshitting while Max's is time travel. I like that. Because it stays true to the original game, and you kind of still have powers in this. It's just different.
And it's pretty well written the way that her response is. Chloe has some amazing dialogue in this. And
absolutely.
I love, because we've replayed it multiple times, I love that, especially during certain parts, no matter which dialogue you pick, you get an awesome response. There's a part... There's a part where you get a callback, no matter which one you do, but it's a different callback.
Very nice. That's good shit right there.
They really boost the replayability in this one.
I feel like a lot of what made this fucking episode so well written is that it was written by a single person. And that writer is Zach Garis, or Garis. I hope I'm not saying that wrong.
And he's one hell of a writer. Right at the beginning, he really captures the vibe of the concert experience, you know? Like, it's something Apollo and I we've gone to thousands of concerts. We've
experienced it many times.
They really captured it, and I loved it. And they really got into Chloe's rebellious side. A lot of fun optional things you could do, like you could smoke weed with Frank. That's not necessarily part of the story, but it's awesome.
You can steal a beer from a can of beers. It's great.
Hell yeah. And there's a bong reference. Plenty of stuff for us fellow smokers out there. But Apollo... we never got into Rachel Amber. How did you feel about her and the biggest new addition to the game?
I very much liked her character. I like what we've seen of her so far, considering, you know, all we know of her from Life is Strange is, spoilers, that she is dead.
Yeah, but you find that out pretty quick.
Yeah. But one thing that kind of bothers me is apparently she's like the daughter of the, like, local DA, the district attorney. I'm not sure they ever mentioned that in the first episode. Like, call me a total pleb if they did, and fuck me if they did, but it seems like it would be a huge thing that you would definitely hear about later on.
Yeah, and it's strange because they did such a good job at putting tiny details perfectly in this game. Like, they make a reference to a different timeline where Chloe gets the TV in her room when she's paralyzed. Like, they just do tiny things like that that just make it so sweet.
That was a fantastic reference.
Yeah, the writers are very self-aware of what's going on. They're not throwing in unnecessary things.
After that, I'm pretty sure there's, like, no plot holes with that shit. Like, wow, they're thinking forwards and backwards.
This game just gets me so much more excited for Episode 2 and everything going forward. When this game was coming out, I was worried. I was worried because they were doing something dirty with the Deluxe Edition and adding a special episode if you pay $10 more.
Worried me as well.
That worried me. I thought this prequel would be a cash grab because the first one was so successful, but nope, it's none of that. It's, to be kind of pretentious, it keeps the art of the first one.
Yes. To pull something from my micro review, I have to say I feel bad for you if you can't enjoy this game because it's fucking awesome. The story feels real, as if the writer actually knows what living as a human feels like.
Right.
Like, I can actually feel the connection between Chloe and Rachel Amber as it grows. Like, they just immediately kind of clicked with each other. It's fucking cool to see.
Yeah, it's very character-driven. I love their connection, and I can't wait to see it moving forward. One thing I want to get on before we get our reviews out of the way, the soundtrack. I was a little
Oh
worried.
man, I was just about to bring up the soundtrack.
Oh,
Goddamn.
nice. Great minds think alike, Apollo.
Oh,
But yeah, the soundtrack, the first one was so bangerific that I was worried that they wouldn't be able to top it. So far, I'm really digging the soundtrack. They got the artist called Daughter to record a whole original soundtrack for this game. So far, I'm really digging it. A lot of instrumentals unlike the first game, but it's pretty cool. And they get into the punk vibe too, especially with the Firewalk or whatever.
oh yeah, I totally dig it.
I'm not sure if Firewalk's a real band or not, but it was kind of cool.
The soundtrack in Before the Storm is similarly chill to Life is Strange, the original, however, noticeably different in a great way. Just like Homer said, it's got kind of more of a punk vibe, a slightly different vibe to it, and I fucking love it. It's fantastic to listen to. I love it. I just love it. That's it, man.
And using our unique marijuana rating scale, where at the bottom of the bottom we have resin. That's the black resin you scrape after you smoke your bowl. The weakest high you could get. It's usually for people who hate themselves.
Oh, I've been there.
Then we got mids. That's your typical ditch weed. It gets you a good buzz, but it kind of has its problems. Good time killer. Then we got dank. Gets you nice and baked. It means most people are going to get their fix, but it could have still used some work. Then we got wax. That gets you so blazed, you start thinking you have time travel powers of your own, and it is pretty much a perfect score, 10 out of 10, guaranteed high.
Guaranteed blitzed.
And on that scale, I'm going to give Life is Strange Before the Storm a wax minus.
How dare you?
Because they improved on what mattered, the gameplay and the presentation of the story, and it got me so hooked and more excited than ever to see where this story goes for Life is Strange. And I really hope that they use these improvements to further improve for Life is Strange Season 2.
God, absolutely. I'll have to agree with that, Homer. My excitement for life and also for this video game has been renewed. Just in looking forward to the next episode, because I'm very excited to see how this turns out. I'll definitely give it a wax, and I'm insulted by your wax minus, Homer, but that's okay. I guess everyone's entitled to their opinions.
The only reason I give it a wax minus is because it'd be unfair. I gave the first one a wax, and I feel like it's on a better level a little bit. However, I think they did so well with the prequel. I think it's hard to get up there for a prequel with me, How do you think episode 2 is going to go? Do you think it's going to be pretty good?
I am definitely very excited for it. It's going to be fucking amazing. I mean, I don't know how they could fuck this up. It's like a gravy train with biscuit wheels, man. Just keep it rolling into my mouth.
Right. The only thing I'm worried about for this is how are they going to have multiple endings for episode 3? How are they going to end this with... How are they going to have multiple endings?
I was thinking that. I was thinking, it'd be impossible because Life is Strange as itself was already set in stone, supposedly. But the game already gets into multiple universes, kind of like Rick and Morty, so as far as we know, they could fucking release a Life is Strange remix based on the multiple endings in this game. Cool,
What if somehow you save Rachel Amber and it just totally changes Life is Strange, and it's Life is Strange remix, Rachel, Chloe, and Max on a time travel adventure. And then they do season 2 for the original, and then they do season 2 for the remix. They could do so much.
They really have their work cut out for them. They could do some shit. They better listen to this podcast because we just did their job for them. That's a goddamn great idea.
Life is Strange remix, time travel, infinite universes. Have remix. What if they get off the wall with it? Life is Strange remix 2.
Oh
Life
no.
is Strange remix 7. So many possibilities going forward. I can't wait. Don't Nod is a beautifully done studio. I can't wait to see what they do going forward.
You should certainly don't nod at this game.
Did it ding?
Oh man, that was awful.
And that'll do it for this week's episode.
Yeah, I think that'll do it.
We'll catch you guys next week. We have a lot of cool stuff coming. We have an It review. Ooh, the full-blown podcast is returning. We have a lot of specials coming. And plus, we're releasing our new special micro reviews. It's for those who don't want the bullshit. They don't want to know why it's good. They just want to know when and if they should see the movie.
Exactly. You don't got a lot of time to spare? Fucking micro review. Click it.
Heck yeah, no spoilers whatsoever. And if you have time, check out our Kickstarter page at stonermanshow.com. It's filled with all kinds of original memes, stoner stories, and it gives you the lowdown of our show and how you could donate to help us get a finished animated product, and it also helps expand the podcast.
Hell yeah, we're working hard. Help us work harder. Throw some cash at us, man. Please.
Please. And as always, stay lifted, my friends.
Thank you for listening. This is Apollo, signing off. Good night, America.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Stonerman.
God damn it.
I thought you were going to do it.
No, I was ready, man.
I don't know.